Very good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Here are the headlines. Prime Minister Modi to address the nation at 8 p.m. on ongoing coronavirus outbreak. Chairs high-level meeting to review efforts to contain COVID-19. On Prime Minister Modi's recommendation, G20 leaders to address coronavirus pandemic in virtual summit next week. Entry of passengers from 36 countries banned temporarily. Passengers from 11 other countries to be mandatorily quarantined. India evacuates 405 citizens stranded at Kuala Lumpur airport. CBSE board exams, universities and JEE main examinations postponed. Worldwide death toll from coronavirus crosses 8,500. Italy registers 475 new deaths, the highest one-day rise. UK to shut schools. US invokes law to address shortages of supplies. WHO says world facing unprecedented threat. And nominated by President, former CGI Ranjan Gogoi to take oath as a Rajya Sabha member. Dam Safety Bill 2019 in Rajya Sabha's agenda for consideration and passing. Discussion on the functioning of various ministries. Lok Sabha to take up two key bills, including Institute of Teaching and Research in Ayurveda Bill 2020. And Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman Harivansh, NCP Chief Sharad Pawar, Union Minister Ramdas Athavale among 37 candidates elected unopposed to Rajya Sabha. Polls for 18 seats scheduled for 26th of March. First, an update on the coronavirus situation, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the nation this evening at 8 p.m. on the situation arising out of coronavirus outbreak. In a Twitter message, the Prime Minister's office said that Prime Minister Modi will talk about issues related to COVID-19 and the efforts to combat it. Yesterday, Prime Minister Modi shared a high-level meeting to review the ongoing efforts to contain the spread of the virus. In the meeting, ways to further strengthen India's preparedness were discussed, including further enhancing testing facilities. He has also urged the officials and technical experts to deliberate on the steps to be taken next. The Prime Minister also expressed their gratitude to all those at the forefront of combating coronavirus, including state governments, medical fraternity, armed and paramilitary forces, those in the aviation sector, municipal staff and others. The Prime Minister has been urging people to prepare themselves but not panic. He has supported the idea of avoiding non-essential travel and limiting the gatherings to check the spread of the virus. Earlier this week, he also initiated a video conference of the SAARC nations to prepare a joint strategy to tackle the pandemic. And a day after Prime Minister Modi suggested a joint conference of G20 nations to frame a joint strategy to address the coronavirus pandemic, Saudi Arabia has called for a virtual summit. The Saudi G20 presidency is communicating with member nations to convene a virtual leaders summit next week to advance the coordinated response to COVID-19 pandemic. In the summit, the G20 leaders will put forward a coordinated set of policies to protect people and safeguard the global economy. Remember, on Tuesday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in a telephonic conversation with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, had emphasized the need for coordinated efforts to address the global challenge. In the conversation, the two leaders agreed that a similar exercise at the level of G20 leaders would be useful. And in India, the number of cases of coronavirus infections have risen to 169, out of which 151 are active cases, while 14 have been discharged. 3 people have died so far due to coronavirus, and the government is considering roping private laboratories. The Health Ministry yesterday said that it was an evolving situation, and while taking all precautions, it is also trying to be prepared for every eventuality. The Indian Council of Medical Research, or the ICMR, which is the nodal agency for battling the virus, is in talks with the private laboratories as well. The government is also trying to get across the message of social distancing, seen as the only way of breaking the viral chain of transmission. Over the last weeks, the various state governments have shut down educational institutions, malls and multiplexes, cancelled sports gatherings, functions and urged people not to travel. The central government has shut down all the monuments, museums, national parks, and private companies have urged their employees to work from home, and some state governments are also considering a similar move. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Human Resource and Development has also ordered the Central Board of Secondary Education, that is the CBSE, and all the educational institutions to postpone the ongoing examinations till 31st of March amid the ongoing novel coronavirus spread. This includes Class 10, Class 12 board examinations. JEE mains will also get rescheduled and new dates would be announced after 31st of March. Meanwhile, India has also temporarily banned the entry of passengers from 36 countries, while people travelling from 11 countries will be mandatorily quarantined in the wake of coronavirus outbreak. Also, overseas citizen of India, that is OCI card holders, except from the restricted countries, will be required to obtain a fresh visa from the Indian mission and only then allowed to enter India. India, meanwhile, also evacuated its 405 citizens, including students, stranded at the Kuala Lumpur airport in Malaysia due to the coronavirus outbreak. On Tuesday, the Indian government approved Air Asia flights for Delhi and Vizag to help the stranded Indians. The Indian nationals were struck at the Kuala Lumpur airport after the government banned the entry of passengers from EU countries, Turkey and UK from 18th of March till 31st of March, and also closed its doors to those from Afghanistan, the Philippines and Malaysia. All right, Anu Diwan, our colleague, is joining us live from the national capital. Anu, we've been witnessing that the number of cases of coronavirus in our country have been increasing. There are now 151 active cases, and at the same time, we have seen the government has taken several measures as well to contain the spread of the virus. We understand that some Indians are from close to 405 were also evacuated from the Kuala Lumpur airport. And Prime Minister Modi is going to address the nation tonight at 8 p.m. What more updates you can give us?
Definitely, Aishwarya, if we talk about the numbers, increasing numbers that has now risen up to 151 active cases. These active cases are those, that means these people are being hospitalized and are going under treatment to fight coronavirus. But accordingly to the ministry's latest update, if we see that total number of cases in the country is now 166, excluding the 3 deaths. The total number of cases, if we listen to this now, is 169 up till date. So if we see that we are still at a stage 2, which is very preventable, because stage 2 means that those who have travel history can suffer from this disease. But if we have to prevent ourselves from entering the stage 3, that is the most worst, that is community transmission. Government is making a lot of effort to prevent ourselves, to prevent the country from entering this stage 3, so that we can prevent ourselves from community transmission and prevent this disease here only. So government has made many number of decisions. If we talk about the latest decision, that is cancelling, not cancelling but postponing the board exams and other entrance exam like JEE means that has been postponed till 31st of March, and the new dates will be announced only after 31st of March, seeing the condition of coronavirus in the country. Government has made this made this bold decision, you can say, is seeing the situation of coronavirus in the country, and has asked people not to move out of the house and stay as much as at their home as possible, so that we can prevent this outbreak, prevent the chain of coronavirus from spreading. Tonight at 8 p.m. all eyes and ears will be on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address to the nation on this coronavirus situation. His address will be motivating to the people who are fighting with coronavirus and who are dealing, like the doctors and everyone who are tackling this situation, and awareness, and we can say awareness for the people who will listen to this and will come out and join hands in the public to fight this coronavirus and take as much measurable measures, as much curable measures so that we can stop this chain to spread. So all eyes and ears will be tonight at 8 p.m. on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address. Also, Aishwarya, one thing more. Yesterday, Lieutenant Governor Lalin Baijal and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal held a meeting, and today we are expecting some major announcements on the public transport. That will be more in Delhi, because if we see the number of cases rising to Delhi has increased to 11, and other states, if we see that Maharashtra is the worst state of coronavirus today with 42 number of cases.
Yes.
So only the awareness and cooperating with the steps and advisories of the government issuing day by day to the public is only the cure we can say today we have.
All right, that is the only option that we have: social distancing and following the instructions and the advisories that the government has been issuing from time to time. Thank you so much, Anu, for all those updates there. And now, talking about the global situation, the coronavirus pandemic has claimed 8,657 lives so far across the world, with the number of infected cases now rising to over 2 lakh globally. And governments across Europe, North America and Asia have rolled out tough measures to contain the spread of the deadly virus. For the first time since the outbreak, China has reported no new domestic case of COVID-19, including in Wuhan, which is the epicenter of the outbreak. However, a total of 34 new COVID-19 imported cases were reported on the Chinese mainland on Wednesday. 8 more people died, taking the death toll in the country to 3,245, and the overall confirmed cases reached 80,928 by the end of Wednesday. And talking about other countries, Italy on Wednesday reported 475 new deaths, which is the highest one-day official toll of any nation since the outbreak. Total deaths in Italy have reached 2,978, more than half of all these cases recorded outside China, while the number of infections stood at 35,713. Meanwhile, Iran also reported its single biggest jump in deaths on Wednesday, as another 147 people died, raising the country's overall death toll to 1,135. And Iran's deputy health minister has urged the public to avoid travel and crowded places. Meanwhile, the European Union also sealed its borders on Wednesday, barring travelers from outside the bloc for 30 days to try to slow the rapid spread of the virus. Europe has now recorded 3,437 deaths, surpassing Asia's fatalities of 3,384. Now, there are more than 79,000 cases across Europe, with Italy, Spain and France leading with infections and fatalities. London and Washington have announced massive economic stimulus packages as well, after coming under fire over their response to the crisis. US President Donald Trump said that the White House was discussing a substantial bill with the Congress that would include immediate cash payments to Americans. Donald Trump said that the US-Canada border would also be closed for all non-essential travel, but he assured that trade would continue unaffected. Meanwhile, Australia's government has also urged citizens to not travel abroad and has banned the gathering of more than 100 people, as the cases there have topped 500. Meanwhile, Malaysia has already banned travelers from overseas, and Vietnam has blocked visitors from several European nations. And the World Health Organization has urged the Middle Eastern governments to be more forthcoming with information about the new coronavirus infections in order to effectively combat the global pandemic. The WHO has also cautioned the African nations to prepare for the worst. Remember, Africa has so far seen few cases of COVID-19, but WHO has asked for caution. It has also caused for aggressive action in the Southeast Asia to combat the virus. The WHO has called for every suspected coronavirus case to be tested, though many countries are only screening those who require hospitalization or who are very sick. Now let's switch gears and talk about the budget session of Parliament. Let us look at the Rajya Sabha's legislative business for the day today. The Dam Safety Bill 2019 is listed for the House's agenda for consideration and passing. This bill provides for the surveillance, inspection, operation and maintenance of all specified dams across the country and will be moved by Union Minister Gajendra Shekhawat. The House will also further continue discussion on the working of the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. The discussion was raised by MP TKS Ilan Govan yesterday. Discussion on the working of the Ministry of Law and Justice and the Ministries of Rural Development and Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare is also listed in the day's agenda. And nominated member Ranjan Gogoi will take oath as the Rajya Sabha member today. And talking about Lok Sabha now, the lower house today will take up the Institute of Training and Research in Ayurveda Bill 2020 for consideration and passing. This bill aims to provide for the establishment of an institute of teaching and research in Ayurveda and to declare it as an institution of national importance for the promotion of quality and excellence in education, research and training. Also, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will move over the Banking Regulation Amendment Bill 2020 in Lok Sabha today. The bill aims to further amend the Banking Regulation Act 1949. Let's go across to Kriti Mishra, who is joining us live from Parliament. A very good morning, Kriti. Kriti, as far as today's business in Upper House is concerned, there is a very important bill related to the safety of dams in our country. But more than anything else, it will be the former CGI taking oath as a Rajya Sabha member that will be looked forward by most people. And as far as lower house is concerned, again, there are two key bills. One, of course, relating to an Ayurveda institute. There is also discussion of various ministries listed in the House's agenda. What more can you tell us?
Well, absolutely, Aishwarya. All eyes would be on that important oath of former CJI, Ranjan Gogoi. In fact, remember from several quarters, this has been said that this particular move will bridge the gap between judiciary and legislature, and judiciary will be able to understand the viewpoint of legislature and vice versa. So that is a very important development in the upper house today. And of course, as you've mentioned, there's dam safety bill. Remember, there are more than 5,700 reservoirs in the country, and out of that, more than 290 are as old as 100 years. So this bill provides for maintenance, surveillance, operation of these bills, and also to resolve the interstate issues as far as dams are concerned, because remember, more than 92% of dams in the country are on interstate river basins. So these are the important items that will be taken up in the Rajya Sabha, in addition to discussion on the Ministry of MSME. And of course, we expect that MSME Minister Nitin Gadkari will reply to the discussion that was initiated in the House yesterday. And talking about the Lok Sabha, a very important bill, which is the Banking Regulation Bill, would be taken up in the lower house today. Remember, this bill seeks to ensure that there's regulation of the cooperative banks by the RBI to avert situations like what we saw in the PMC Bank in Maharashtra. In fact, while introducing this bill in the lower house, Finance Minister had said that small investors and their interests, that needs to be protected. And this bill will ensure that there's no dual control of registrar of cooperative societies and also RBI, and will ensure that there's better regulation. So this is the important agenda in today's business of the Lok Sabha. So important business in both houses of Parliament today. Aishwarya?
Kriti, thank you so much for all those updates there. And yesterday, Rajya Sabha passed the National Commission for Indian System of Medicine Bill 2019 and the National Commission for Homeopathy Bill 2019 by voice vote. The bill provides for the establishment of the National Commission for Indian System of Medicine and the National Commission for Homeopathy. Replying to the discussion on the bills, Ayush Minister Shripad Yesso Naik said that the passage of these two bills will help the government strengthen homeopathy and other Indian medical system streams in our country.
कई सदस्यों ने कहा है कि वो इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ इस मेडिसिन का इंटीग्रेशन होना चाहिए. ये काम आयुष ने ऑलरेडी शुरू किया हुआ है. कहीं जो बड़े हॉस्पिटल है, एम्स होंगे या दूसरे जो प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल में, यहाँ इंटीग्रेशन का ऑलरेडी शुरू हुआ है. आखिर इस मेडिसिन सभी का हमारा प्रयास किसके लिए है? तो पेशेंट है तो जल्दी ठीक होना चाहिए. इसीलिए ये प्रयोग सभी जगह अभी थोड़े थोड़े इसमें चालू हुआ है. हमारे जो आयुष नाम की स्कीम है, उसमें भी हमारे प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेंटर में भी सभी तरह के डॉक्टर बैठते हैं. जिसको जो पैथी चाहिए, जो मेडिसिन चाहिए, वो लेके हो जाता है. और इंटीग्रेशन का जमाना अभी शुरू हुआ है.
जब तक नहीं होगी तब तक उन दवाओं से लोगों को, मरीजों को लाभ नहीं होगा. और जब तक मरीजों को लाभ नहीं होगा तब तक उस दवा की या उस चिकित्सा पद्धति की स्वीकार्यता नहीं होगी. हमें इस पर विशेष ध्यान देने की आवश्यकता है.
In the National Commission for Indian System of Medicine, out of 29 members, only 6 represent the state governments. Homeopathy, out of 20 members, only 5 represent the state governments. Health is a state subject. Medical education is a concurrent subject. You have to give equal responsibility to the states in this area.
157.3 एक तो वैसे ही बेरोजगारी का आलम बहुत बहुत भयावह है, कोहराम मच रहा है। आप लोगों को नौकरियों से बर्खास्त कर रहे हैं। अरे क्या बिगाड़ा है? उनको कहीं समायोजन करिए, बोर्ड में कहीं भी नई चीज बनाए उसमें रखें, उनके मद्देनजर आपको सोचना होगा।
Why do you have this NEET next and the NEET again in the PG course? Sir, this uniform system of school education is not available throughout India. Every state has got their own system of education. Therefore, where is the question of having a level playing field? This NEET is going to cause a disaster.
The Indian system of medicines, mainly Ayurveda and yoga itself, all of them have positive roots, but they are scientific also. Forgetting science completely and going behind superstitions will not help any system of medicines.
आयुर्वेद अथर्ववेद का हिस्सा है, and अथर्ववेद is a religious text. Nowhere in the world you can find medical science as a part of the religious text. Nowhere you can find mathematics as a part of religious text. इसलिए मैं कहना चाहूंगा, ये जो हमारा ज्ञान है, ये सिर्फ भारत के लिए नहीं, गरीबों के लिए नहीं, सबसे एडवांस लेवल पे जो लोग बैठे हैं उनके लिए भी उतना ही प्रभावी है।
Our country is most propagating the yoga. It seems that our Honorable Prime Minister is an international brand ambassador for the yoga. Why the government is excluding this yoga and naturopathy from this bill? I request the Honorable Minister to answer.
आज अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस हम मनाते हैं और धनतेरस के दिन आयुर्वेद दिवस मनाया जा रहा है। 11 फरवरी को यूनानी दिवस मनाया जा रहा है। इसलिए मनाया जा रहा है ताकि लोगों को इससे बेदार किया जाए और लोगों को इसके प्रति सजग किया जाए।
I was not able to climb the stairs. I started Vajrasana yoga, practicing yoga. Today I am able to boldly tell you, after that I could do even wrestling without any difficulty.
And now an update on the Rajya Sabha polls. NCP Chief Sharad Pawar, Union Minister Ramdas Athavale and Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman Harivansh are among the 37 candidates elected unopposed to Rajya Sabha. Of these, candidates were declared elected unopposed to 7 seats in Maharashtra, 6 seats in Tamil Nadu, 2 seats in Haryana, Chhattisgarh and Telangana, 4 seats in Odisha, 5 seats each in Bihar and West Bengal, 3 seats in Assam and 1 seat in Himachal Pradesh. These are of the 55 seats. Meanwhile, the BJP bagged 7 seats, 2 in Haryana, 3 in Maharashtra and 1 each in Himachal Pradesh and Bihar. The BJP also bagged the seat in Haryana, where a by-poll was held following the resignation of former Union Minister and party leader Birendra Singh. BJP's ally AIADMK won 2 seats from Tamil Nadu and another ally BAPF won a seat from Assam. The Trinamool Congress and the Biju Janata Dal got 4 seats each in West Bengal and Odisha respectively. The TRS won 2 seats in Telangana. The Congress also got 4 seats, 2 in Chhattisgarh and 1 each in Haryana and Maharashtra. Its allies RJD got 2 seats in Bihar. The DMK got 3 in Tamil Nadu. NCP bagged 2 seats in Maharashtra and Shiv Sena got 1 in Maharashtra. The CPIM got 1 in West Bengal, while an independent candidate backed by the Congress Party and AIUDF was also elected in Assam. And for the remaining 18 Rajya Sabha seats, elections will be held on 26th of March. Of the 18 Rajya Sabha seats, there are 4 each in Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh, 3 each in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, 2 in Jharkhand and 1 each in Manipur and Meghalaya. And nominated member Ranjan Gogoi will today take oath as the Rajya Sabha member. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day ahead.